I believe I was called into politics, and based on the representation that I give, um, a higher calling for me right now, I don't see it in the cards. Everybody would love to be at the top of the game or to be there, but wanting to be a member of parliament is not easy as that. It doesn't come idly so. You first have to decide, is there a vacancy? First thing, I live in Portmore. Now, is there a vacancy within the Portmore or the St. Catherine environment for me to run? I don't see an opening right now. That in itself would take some convincing or pushing or getting yourself out there, which would money. Because to run a political campaign prior to election and during election is a costly event. And you have to realize this. Political parties don't really give you money to run election. When I was thinking about getting into representational politics, and I offered myself, I wrote a letter, said I'd love to get involved. When I was being interviewed, the first question they asked me, how are you going to fund an election campaign? And you know, I just answer them off the bat. But when you sit down and you really look into know what does an election campaign cost, because persons don't work for free. It costs to feed, it costs to print material, it costs to print shirts and all that. And if you do this at the local level, it's going to come at some sacrifice to you and the money that you would have put down for your family, also your retirement. Are you willing to sacrifice that? No, persons nowadays, when you're running a campaign for a member of parliament seat, you're looking at more than 5 times what you're spending, even more than what you're spending now, depending on certain seats. It can run in excess of 10, 15, $20 million. So one thing I can say right now, I have a young family, and politics has really robbed or taken away some of my family time, and I would like to make sure before going deeper or into a higher office, which is going to take more of my time, that I can see my young children pass the worst. And at that point, I would say, yes, I am ready to go forward. But for now, I will stay as a councillor until the calling goes otherwise.
Okay. Okay. Is there any reason, if a youngster were to come to you and ask you, why should I vote? What would be your response to that youngster?
I would advise that young person or tell him the reason for him to vote is to take control or be a part of the development or the building of his community. Now, when a person gets into representational policy, he is guided by what the persons in his constituency, division, or community wants. If you don't vote, you don't have a say. Now, if you looked on how your nation was built, you have, as a young person, especially now, let your voice be counted. Because at the end of the day, prior to a general election, politicians look at the numbers and we look at the demographic. Who are we going to spend our scarce resources on and our scarce time on to convince them to vote? If the younger demographic do not vote or show themselves as a potent force, we're not going to campaign to them. So the thing is, you at this point want your voice and your opinion. So as a young person, let your vote count and let everybody know that the young person's vote count. How does it benefit you? Nowadays, most persons think that politics should, especially when election time comes, should benefit them in their pockets. But if you look back to political decisions that came about with common entrance and free education, it didn't benefit persons in their pockets, but it did benefit a whole generation or era. Even now, persons, I myself, benefit from common entrance. Most Jamaicans know, but they take that for granted. What is it next that you want to tell the government that your voice wants to show where to impact? Your voice needs to come about to tell the government that, look, we believe as a people the direction of free health, or the direction of improving hospitals, the direction of building more infrastructure that would more provide work, more geared towards putting young person at the crips or the ebb of technology. We believe that the salaries that you're paying are too low. Government has to listen to the voice of the people. And the voice of the people who comes through the vote. Don't watch how much noise they make on the talk shows. Don't watch how much noise people make in the street when the camera comes and there's a shooting. Don't watch all the noise that is made on social media. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't affect the voting, it doesn't count. If a politician knows that that person who is out there directing or demanding that this issue has to be resolved by this method, and this person carries the weight or speaks for the young generation who have a potent voice in voting, that is where they will go. It's a supply and demand. Your vote is like a commodity, right? We are trying to appease to it. You're going to say, me voting for you is for an issue, or is for a reason. Are you going along that line or not? I notice overseas now, in certain developed countries, they have the Green Party. So persons who want to end pollution, who want to end the depleting of the earth resources, and with the ozone depleting, they want to go green. So if the party doesn't, or that politician doesn't present themselves,
doesn't pay attention to that concern.
Say, I have the same belief as you. When I get into office, this is what I'm going to demand. So you have a next set that are want to put a separatist agenda. They are more against society going a certain way. Nowadays you have parties or politicians to say, I'm all inclusive. This type of all the different lifestyles that are being shown should be put to the fore and give special attention.
Well, it speaks to the fact that, especially with the youngsters, they have a lot more options available to them, and they have a lot of interest. But if your interest, as you're saying, if your interest isn't one that you can back up your interest with vote, then chances are nobody is going to be interested in what you're interested in. Right.
I mean, if you like me, but you're not voting for me, I mean, I remember when PNP had an internal election for vice president, and Roger Clark, we voted for 4 vice presidents, and about 6 persons went out, but Roger Clark lost. And you know, Roger Clark was on the mic and he was in a crying mood. I said, Roger Clark, boy, but I don't know how you lose. Man said, well, look, the amount of people would tell me, say them vote for me, and I don't see how I lose. But the thing is, everybody will tell you, yes, you're a nice person, yes, sir, to get that. But if they don't vote for you, you'll be right, Roger Clark laughing. But guess what? A lot of people can't face him now, you know. I said they never vote for you, but them still like you. So the politics, I mean, unfortunately, is not even about how much good work you do. It's not about how much people like you. When the campaigning starts, it's a different ball game. How well is your political machinery oiled to get out the votes to vote? A person might convince you, yes, you like Claude Hamilton, but they can convince you, say, look, we're pushing things this way. So you have to play a scientific game. It's all about numbers. So it's not whether or not you're a good guy or a nice guy, it's how many votes you can pull out on the day.
Do you need your wedding videotaped? Do you need a commercial or an interview done? Then call Sunshine Video Production. We videotape and edit functions, graduations, stage shows, music videos, and even funerals. We have a video studio and offer help with your marketing and promotional planning. So WhatsApp or call us at 883-0525. Well, thanks for coming in today, Councillor Hamilton. I'm quite sure a lot of our viewers would have had the opportunity, to listen to you, to see what you're about, to get a better feel as to who Councillor Hamilton, who has been in office for how long now?
I've been in office from 2012.
Okay.
March 26.
Okay, so next year would be 10 years. Yeah.
2012, we're in 2020 now.
So 2021.
So yes, this year. So this year would be March.
11 years, and
yeah.
next year, the maths there. All right, we're gonna start over. So Councillor Hamilton, how long have you been in office now?
I've been in office since 2012. So we're in 2021 March. I'm now 11 years in office.
Okay.
And this is my second term. We're expecting next local government election to come up. It's due, and it can be called anytime between now and February next year. So we are on our P's and Q's.
Okay. Well, I'm quite sure that a lot of the viewers would have now gotten the opportunity to know who is Councillor Hamilton, and even if they are new to the community and have not gotten a chance to talk to you directly, this would have assisted them in knowing who it is that presently deals with some of their needs as far as the division is concerned. Thanks for coming in, and you'll be invited again.
Thank you very much for having me and giving me the opportunity to have my say in a wider audience for persons to get to know me better. But I can see into person. I'm easy accessible. Just see me on the street, call me. Most persons think being a politician is a big thing and is a standoff issue. We are most welcoming person. We like persons to interact with us. So feel free. I'm at the municipality in Portmore Pines. You can come over or call.
Hi viewers, my name is Ian Bennett, and I'm the host of In the Hot Seat. If you like the video you just saw and would like to see more of the same type of video, please click the subscribe button and the like button as we produce videos every Wednesday. Thank you.